Thanks for letting us be here today. We've been practicing 2 or 3 days a week for the last couple of days, and so I'm losing my voice, but we'll do the best we can. We're really excited about the second season here at Mississippi State. I don't think, and I told the girls before the first practice, this is the most excited I've ever been as a head coach. And so we've got a lot of potential, got a lot of players back, got a lot of experience, and I think we got everything going in the right direction on the court and off the court, as Hunter mentioned, because of academics.
Questions? Chelsea, just talk about your 4 years here and just what's it been like going into your fourth year here?
It's been exciting to see the program grow since my freshman year. We've had many talented players and a lot of hard work, and so just building on this next year, we're really excited, and we want to win more than ever, especially with this next class. With our senior class, we feel like it's really strong, and this is the year for us to go to the tournament, and we're really excited about the opportunity to possibly do that.
You personally, do you think you're, as a senior, at your best right now, do you think?
Yeah, as a freshman, I played middle blocker. In the last 2 years, I was an outside hitter, and so this year I'm really excited to be on the right side. And we've been working so hard, especially this summer, just training and just trying to get as strong as possible for this next season. And so I'm definitely a lot better, and I'm really excited to come to the new season.
To each of the girls, why do you think this team will be better this year than last year, just based on what you've seen? And any of y'all can answer.
I think the team chemistry is just really a lot better than it was last year. Just because it was the first year that Fatch was here, I think that there was just a little bit of unsureness, and everyone is very sure this year. Everyone's sticking together. We all have the same exact goal, and it's proving itself in practices. We've gotten better even from like 2 days ago. It's crazy. So I can't wait to see the improvements we're going to make.
I think the biggest thing is that we're loaded in more positions this year. We're not just top heavy on one position on the court. We're kind of loaded in every position this year, which is going to help us a lot. But like Ev said, that chemistry is a big factor to our success, I believe, that we're going to have, because chemistry off the court is going to lead to chemistry on the court. So that was like the first step that I think we needed to make to buy into Fatch's system, with him being only here for 1 year and most of us never playing under him before. So that helped a lot.
Also, last year was our first year as a team learning the system, and so during preseason, we're still kind of adjusting to Fatch's new offense. But now, all of the returners already know the system, and so we're able to jump into drills a lot faster and just improve on the system more and more.
The way we practice and the systems of play that we use in the sport are really, really demanding. And they're such that the only person that was used to those was Evie, who I've coached since she was 13 years old. And so all the new players, it was such a demand that they had to get used to it, and they have.
Describe that system, since you played under it before. How's it different than just a regular volleyball system, I guess you could say? I've talked to him before, and it seems like it's really fast-paced, but talk about it as a player.
Yeah, it's definitely fast-paced. Another thing is that he allows a lot of room for error, which means that we can make our mistakes at a faster pace, which means we can weed those out faster. And so I think the biggest thing just is we do play fast, but it's also very precise. He's very precise on how he wants us to do things, and it works. And so if we do what he says, then we will win, and that's just the bottom line. And just like the ball control issues that are fixed in the past couple of days, just by listening to what he's telling us, it's different because he trusts us, and he tells us to go at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and it's okay to make mistakes. And we don't feel fear to make mistakes, and that makes a big difference.
Can you talk about your relationship with him? You talked about coaching you since you were 13. What's that relationship like? What's it been like coming here and having kind of a different dynamic in Starkville?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I can't really believe it's been like 8 years or something like that. But I think just the transition, our relationship, I think, has grown since we were at UCA together. which is a school we transferred from. And I think that I feel a lot of respect from him as a player, and that's helped me a lot with my confidence on the court. He trusts me out there, and that's something that you need to have as a player, just like knowing that your coach trusts you. And I think that as a little baby freshman, I was a little frightened. He'd put me in to serve, and I would blow it like every time. And but then he kept doing it, and it was like, oh, he really believes in me that I can do this. And that's kind of where it all started. And then now, with our last year playing together, he's given me the clear to just, basically hit the ball as hard as I can and give it my all and not be afraid to make mistakes. So.
Coach, what does Chelsea mean to you, being a 4-year player and now going for a master's? Just what does she mean to the program?
Well, she's really special. She, she mentioned on the court that she's on her 3rd position in 4 years, and that's difficult. But we think we finally found her the home that she needs to be in. She probably should have been over there last year, but we were weak on the left side, and so we needed her over there. But the idea that she can finish her degree in 3 years and start her master's in her 4th year is a great example for our players coming in. I mean, to be quite honest with you, she didn't have to come back this year, but she wanted to finish strong. She wanted to be a good example for the players and their teammates that she's got now and the ones that are coming in after her. And so she's a special young lady. I'm really, really blessed. I actually recruited her at Central Arkansas. She came for a visit at UCA. And after UCA, she came down here to Mississippi State for a visit. And once she got here, she called me up. She goes, "Hey, Coach, I'm gonna commit to Mississippi State." And I'm like, "What?" So when I got here, I told her, I said, "You can run, but you can't hide." So, you got me anyway. So I really got what I was hoping for, and that's a chance to coach a great young lady.
Guys, anything else?
Fats in your offense, 2nd year for Blossom Sato, and I guess it's for you and all 3 players. Last year, as a freshman, first time you take a set. Is this year, I'm sure this year's a lot easier, knowing everyone in Jazmyne. I think, 2 balls, quick sets, and everything should be, everybody's more on the same page than they probably were last year at any time.
They really are, a lot of it's getting used to the system, like Evie said. A lot of it is team chemistry, like Jazzy said. Team chemistry goes a long way. And I'm not saying last year's was bad. I'm just saying this year's greater. When you're together as often as we are, and we're going 3 times a day right now. We start breakfast at 7 in the morning together, and we eat dinner at 8 o'clock at night together. And when you're that, together that much, things kind of get off the track every once in a while. But it hasn't yet, but it will. And this group is mature enough to, when we have a policy, we say, hey, if something is wrong with you or between you and somebody else or between you and me, go to that person that day and let's get it resolved so we can push the clear button as fast as possible. But anyway, the on-the-court stuff, the working together, the tempo of the passes, the tempo of the sets, where we want the hitters, down to what foot we want you on when the ball's in the setter's hands. They have it now. They have a year under their belt. The height of the set, the arc of the set, how fast it's going, how long it takes to get from her hands, from the setting spot to Evie's hands on the outside, down to the 0.4 seconds. I mean, they got what we want, and it's really precise. And when we're in system, that means when we're controlling the ball really well and the ball goes in the setter's hands and she can run the offense the way we want her to run it, it's really hard to stop. It doesn't matter who we play. And so after a year of doing it, Chelsea and I were talking about this morning at breakfast. We're so far ahead of where we were when we got here, and it's a testament to the work ethic of the players.
And I think also when you said something about Blossom being a freshman, I think that has helped her. With her having 1 year has helped her leadership. Now she's not afraid to go out there and make certain mistakes that she may have been to make as a freshman. I know it's hard coming into such a fast offense that's completely different from her club season, but she has stepped up on the court, which, because the setter is like a quarterback of a team. So once she got comfortable, it just kind of helped us a lot in different areas. With her being experienced, with a lot of the other players moving, being more experienced in the spring and stuff, it just kind of helped us. I think that helped us build our chemistry because it helped us build our confidence in one another and ourselves. So, I mean, Riley might have that same issue being a freshman setter, but I think with this team, we're able to, you know, pull together and let her know, hey, we have your back, just like we had Blossom's back when she was a freshman, you know, so.
Blossom came from a high ball offense. So when she delivers the ball, she's accustomed to putting it up in the air like that and letting the player, it's slower, it gives the blocker on the other side more chance to line up in the right spot and to block. But it is a lower error offense. So she had to go from that to, hey, we're going to cram it down their throats as fast as possible, shoot that ball out there. And she, like Jazz said, she's adjusted really well.
Last year, you had Shelby Anderton throw in and kind of mix and match a little bit, especially when Blossom was having some freshman moments.
That's
This
right.
year, when you talk about the quarterback of your team, who behind Blossom Sato?
Riley Duzenak is a setter out of Dallas, Texas. And she actually committed to us at Central Arkansas as well. In fact, like I think 6 players total committed there are here now. Riley came from a fast offense. So her adjustment period was almost nil. You know, I remember when we recruited her, we were walking by a court at a club tournament, and our assistant coach walked by her court, and he saw her set a ball, and he goes, hey, she already does what we wanted to do. And so we circled back around, and we end up getting her. And so in addition to that, she came in January. So she reported early, so she's got the spring under her belt, and she got to play against, number 2 Texas as an early reporting freshman. So she is really, really solid, and she's going to be in the mix for sure.
Can you talk about, like I posed to her, y'all's relationship, what intrigued you the most about her to say, hey, she needs to be a part of our program, leaving Central Arkansas to Mississippi State, and how much have you seen her grow over the past few years?
Well, I could talk for days, and I know you guys don't want me to do that. She's really special to me. They all are. But you wouldn't spend as much time as I have with her. It's just been remarkable. We talked about it the other day before preseason. I was up all night, just couldn't wait to get started. And I texted her. I think she probably couldn't sleep either. She's excited. But we're like, we know it's coming to an end, and we're like, all right, we don't even want to go there. Let's table that till the last game of the season. And so we made a commitment to do that. But when I was when I was coaching Ev in the club level, I remember thinking, okay, it's really starting to happen, and I can give you a 1-year scholarship to come play at UCA. And that didn't go over too well. And so after that, I'm seeing her play against better and better and better teams. So we went from that to a 2-year, from that to a 3-year, and then I'm like, okay, now other people are starting to notice her, and I can't imagine not, coaching her anymore. And we said, this is a full scholarship. Okay, let's do this. And she was playing great, man. And just I remember her playing as a senior against the 6'8" middle blocker for Stanford in club, and just buzzing the ball by that girl over and over and over at a tournament down in Texas. And she had already committed to us at that time, and it was a full scholarship. And I'm like, okay, she can do it. Well, she comes in her freshman year at UCA. We went to the finals of the conference tournament. We hadn't lost all season. We were undefeated. We hadn't even gone 5 games in a match the entire conference season. We're like 20-0. And for the first time all season long, we're down 0-2 in a match on ESPN. And I'm like, she had played off and on all year. And her goal was to be a starter by the beginning of her sophomore year. At the end, we're down 0-2. I put Evie in. Long story short, we won the next 3 games, went to the NCAA tournament. She becomes the NCAA or the ESPN player of the match in that match. And, she's out there playing against number one Penn State in her freshman year. You played in that game, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, So then, when I got the job opportunity here, at first I kind of had my hands off about bringing her with me, and it's just, just wanted whatever was best for her. And but then it started really affecting me, and I said, hey, let's go meet. And we met at a little eatery in Conway, Arkansas, and started talking. I started bawling my eyes out. I was just crying like a baby about not being able to coach her anymore. And I said, hey, as hard as this is for me, I want what's best for you. And at that point in time, I think she talked to her mom and dad. Then she said she wanted to come down on a visit. And when she came down on a visit, she committed here. And obviously, we're all grateful that she did. So.